Now that I'm happy with my dog class, it's time to move on to the vet clinic class. And I have two things to do. I've got a method to find the heaviest dog, and then I've got some test code to put into Section 8. So I think I will complete the Section 8 part first, because it looks like in order to test find heaviest dog, I need an array of dog objects anyway, dog objects. So let's take a look at the Section 8 instructions. Write some test code inside the vet clinic class's main method. This looks really similar to what I just did inside the other method. So it says make dog variables using new. I just did that when I was testing in dog.java, so I can probably just copy some of that. And then I use the setter methods to set the properties of the first dog object. Okay, cool. Then I have finally declare an array of dogs and fill it with new instances of dog. Okay, and then use a loop to print out the contents of your array. Well, I think I can use some of the code that I already wrote to help me. So I'm going to switch to dog.java for a second and get some of this testing code here. Copy it. I can leave it in dog.java. It's not hurting anything. Here's some test code. And it looks like ultimately I need to put these dogs into an array for testing purposes. Anything else I'm supposed to do in Section 8? Fill it with new instances of dog using the individual variables and use a loop to print out the contents. Okay. Let's try that. I'll just put it underneath the rest of my test code, and if I need to clean this up later, I'll clean it up later. If I have an array of dog objects, this is what it looks like. Dog with the square brackets, all dogs maybe, equals new dog. This doesn't make any of my dogs, it just makes a place to hold them. If I want to be super lazy, which I think I do, I'm going to take my first two dogs and just stick them in there. So all dogs sub 0, let's put test dog in there, and all dogs sub 1 can have test dog 2 in there. And I need one more maybe. Let's put the number 3. Ideally, I would do something like this. Final int. Ideally, I would do it up at the top. I can't really, well, yeah, this is fine, I guess. I prefer to do up on top, but I'm already getting kind of messy here, so even if I really wanted to do this well, I could do this like that. Move my dogs up to the top. Try to keep myself from writing too much messy code in this video. Put the final int up at the top, and then we'll start doing things to the various variables afterwards. Final int max dogs equals 3. Max dogs. Okay. So I need 3 of them. All dogs sub 1 for testing purposes. Let's make a new dog. Immortalize Kate Seibel's dog for you here. Mystery mix. Okay. Let's do a quick printout to make sure the array looks fine. System.out.println, all dogs in the array. Quick for loop. Hopefully this looks pretty good to you by now. Always start at 0, less than the length of the array that you're looping through, I++, and we'll just print out the out.println. All dogs sub I. So I'm doing that. I probably can ditch my println statements here. So I've just made one dog with the default, made another dog with the initializing constructor, set some setters, made my array, and then I do some printing out. I'm going to save and build and see how we're doing. Oh, I'm running my dog testing. I was like, where are the rest of my dogs? Well, it's because I'm doing the same thing I did before, which was building the dog file, and I'm here in VetClinic.java file. If this happens to you, check the file that you're building. And this is, so the whole reason that I put the test code in dog.java was so I could reveal this exact thing to you. If I build the VetClinic code and I run that, it just gives me all dogs in the array, and it gives me the 3 in the array. But it does not ever call this code in the main method of dog. So the only reason this code would ever run is if you said java space dog and it runs the dog class only. But otherwise, nobody's ever calling the main method of the dog class. And in the VetClinic class, nobody's calling the main method of dog class. So I can do a similar thing in VetClinic for testing purposes.